James Creedon is here now. It's time for Media Watch. Good to see you, James.
Good evening,
Laura. We're going to start with this. This is a really tragic story. It's been a year since those schoolgirls were kidnapped from the Chibok province in Nigeria. Extremely upsetting. It really caught people's imagination around the world, and it was, of course, the subject of one of the world's most famous hashtags now.
Right.
Bring back our girls. You've been taking a look at some of the French celebrities who threw their weight behind that campaign.
That's right. And the most prominent of whom was Valerie Trierweiler, and despite the fact that she's no longer the French First Lady, she has remained a huge supporter of this campaign. And as Libération, the left-leaning daily, points out today, she is keeping hope. She's keeping hope alive. She tweeted a lot in the last couple of days, and this tweet today just saying, like, everybody, please come to the Champ de Mars, where there was a rally. The French Education Minister, former Minister for the Rights of Women, also tweeted today, and you can see her there with the hashtag, that during a radio interview this morning. So people on the 1-year anniversary really getting those images out. Now, also people pointing out, Laura, that it's not just a figure, 219, it is faces, real people who are behind this. They have names.
Girls with families and
that's
friends.
Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of people tweeting the list of names of those girls and their faces to put a name and a face to that tragedy, which is still not resolved.
And this is just a tiny part of it as well. Thousands of people have been murdered, enslaved, raped by Boko Haram militants. It's
Indeed,
an
Amnesty
story.
International, I think they said it's 2,000
women and
since
children,
the beginning of 2014.
So
it's not just these 219 girls. That, in fact, is only a detail in the overall tragedy.
Absolutely hideous. But when you look at all of this, it's all very well and good, people holding up signs and doing hashtags and all the rest of it. It hasn't managed to find the girls, though, has it?
That's right. A lot of people commenting on that today. Look, we've had... is it over 1 million? I think this ITV tweet, you can see Michelle Obama famously threw her weight behind the campaign.
Duck face.
That's right. The face was kind of maybe a little bit forced, but she was one of many who threw her weight behind that campaign, and the hashtag was used over 1 million times. But did it work? Indeed, one commentator, for example, for CNN, Isha Sachet, saying that really we should all feel shame for our short attention spans. Another tweet here, shocked a hashtag campaign to get subhumans to return girls they planned on raping and killing didn't work. So a degree of cynicism there. In other words, well, what could we expect? Why would they in any way listen to this? But a lot of insistence, bring them back now, coming across. So there's a degree of dejection, but a lot of insistence as well. I think the most interesting comment I came across was in Libération by one of their envoyé spécial or special envoys, saying that, well, it did at least get politicians reacting. So it's not the social media campaign that failed, it's the political effort that it tried to inject into that didn't
absolutely.
take off.
I mean, if anything, if nothing else, it embarrassed the Nigerian government. It embarrassed President Goodluck Jonathan, and it's putting pressure on his replacement, Muhammadu Buhari, to do something and to try and bring these girls home. Of course, everybody wants them to be brought home as soon as possible. Let's move on to a story here in France with James. This is a draft law. It's been called the French Patriot Act. The Parliament was debating it yesterday, whether or not to grant sweeping new powers to the government, namely enabling the security services to hack into your phone and your email without getting the prior permission of a judge. That's right, isn't it? Exactly,
and it has created a lot of debate. It's been dubbed the French Patriot Act by some, and the government attempting to assuage fears that this is going too far. But a couple of pieces in the French press today that I thought were worth noting. Why new spying powers should worry the French. Now, this is an article signed by 3 individuals. Niels Muizenex, now he's the Council of Europe Commissioner on Human Rights. 2 UN rapporteurs on human rights and terrorism also signed this piece. And they're saying, look, this really has been rushed through. And so what society needs is not haste, but a really healthy debate on the balance that should be struck between security and human rights. And indeed, he is worried really that this law, which allows telephone providers to use algorithms to check, basically sweepingly check what people are talking about or communicating via the internet, and he is saying that this undermines one of the founding principles in France, which is liberté, a right to privacy. Le Monde has also been fact-checking the government speaking points, if you like, saying that really they're being not fully truthful in terms of what they're saying. They're saying that these measures being put in place are not in any way increasing. It doesn't amount to mass surveillance, and for Le Monde, essentially, it does. There's one cartoon there as well that I think points out the worries that some people have. If you're going to be tweeting images of yourself, why not tweet an image with the slogan, "No to violations of your right to privacy"? So
it's a catchy one.
Indeed. Well, I'm not sure people will be tweeting that much. But anyway, calls
James,
for it anyway.
James, thank you very much indeed. James Green there with Media Watch.
Thanks, Laura.